Hey there, I'm Brittnie Schroeder, and business and marketing are my jam. I'm here to walk you step by step through this crazy thing we call business. I'm a small town girl, chocolate eating, Diet Coke drinking mom, marketing guru, automation Jedi, and all around good time. This is your weekly dose of all things business and life, sprinkled with some fun. This is the Redefine Business Podcast. Welcome to another episode of Redefine Business Podcast. I am so excited for my guest today because she is not only an awesome entrepreneur, but she is a good friend. Brittnie Renee, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me here. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to have you. We actually recorded for Brittnie last week, and we talked for so long before we hit record. And I just said to her, I'm in a hurry, so you can't waste my time the way that I wasted yours last week. So anyway, but I'm totally teasing with her. But anyway,
and I said that's okay because I have to take a nap after this. So
yes, she's like, don't
next
waste
on my agenda.
my time either. No, I'm just kidding. No, we kid. Anyway, I am excited to have Brittnie on here. Look, we kind of just run in the same circles. Are we like Instagram? Is this an Instagram romance? How did we meet? It was Instagram.
It's solely because I think we ran into each other because our names are spelled almost the same, except mine has an E at the end of it and yours doesn't. I think that's how we connected, and we're like, oh, okay, like this basically the same. So
who is this? Who is this other girl? Who's this other poser with the same name?
You don't meet many people with their names spelled like we have ours spelled.
Yeah, for sure.
With no A.
Well, I'm excited to just chat it up today. I love Brittnie's journey. Everybody needs to give her a follow, and become a follower. One of the things like that I admire the most about Britt is we started working. I think we did a strategy session. We did a little business coaching, but one of the things that I love about Brittnie is she is a doer. And when she says she's going to do something, she does it. And it's just been so fun to watch just kind of your business evolve. Brittnie, tell my listeners just kind of a little bit about where you've been, where you are, where you're going, all of the things.
So my name is Brittnie. I don't know. I have to start off like that.
Yeah.
And I have been a photographer for it feels like a very long time. So I think once you get past that 10-year mark, I think it all bleeds together. So somewhere between 10 and 15 years. I don't know how long I've been a photographer. I've always focused mainly with families and babies. That's my passion. And I think around 2019 or 2020, I decided it's always been on my heart to teach people and like give information and just like share the knowledge that I've gotten over the years. And so finally I got comfortable enough I was like, you know what, I'm just going to step into the education space for photographers and kind of see where it goes. And I had no plan. I just jumped into it and I was like, all right, let's just kind of see where this takes me. And it's evolved a lot since I first started. I thought I was going to be an educator that taught people how to use their camera and how to like do photo sessions. And I quickly realized that that's not what I wanted to do. And it's just kind of evolved over time. And in the last, I'd say a year, I've really gotten a clear picture of how I'm able to help people. And one of the things to know about me is I am not a naturally organized planning kind of person. I am scatterbrained. I was diagnosed with ADHD whenever I was in middle school. I never turned in my homework. Like I was a solid straight C student. But I think that's kind of the beauty of being an entrepreneur is I don't have to focus on things I don't want to focus on. I get to focus on the things that I want to focus on. So I'm a lot more passionate and a lot more, like you said, a doer now because it's what I want to be doing. So over the last year, I've kind of started discovering that while I'm not a natural planner, I'm not naturally organized, I was really good at figuring it out for myself. Let's say 2 years ago, I hit rock bottom. I'm a mom of 3 kids and they're all little. The oldest one's 9. At the time, I guess he was 7. So I had 3 kids under 7. I had a call that I was supposed to be getting on. The kids were home from school for who knows why, what reason. So I had this stinking call scheduled. I had my kids home. all I needed was them to go outside for 15 minutes and go play. And they wouldn't do it, of course, because you need them to do something. They're not going to do what you need them to do. And I broke down in tears. I was sobbing because I was so stressed out. I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to run this business in the 2 hours after they go to bed. But I also want to keep my house clean. And I also need to go to the gym. And I also need to drink enough water. And I also want to cook healthy foods. And I need to have self-care time. I couldn't do all of that in those 2 hours. Those 2 hours before the kids, after the kids went to bed, before I went to bed. And of course, you want to get to bed on time, right? So that was the day that I hit rock bottom, and I had gotten on a call with another photographer educator, and she was like, you know what? This is where you're going to start. You're going to do a kitchen reset before the kids go to bed, after dinner, before the kids go to bed. I don't know why, but the fact that she said to do it before the kids went to bed was like mind blowing to me. I was like, oh, you're right. I can do this before they go to bed. And then also I made them start helping me and learning how to clean. And that was really the snowball that took off. And I went from being overwhelmed with just running a photography business. I hadn't even started my podcast. I hadn't started really get into anything. So this one thing was overwhelming me. And now it's really funny looking back. I have a photography business that's thriving. I have a coaching business. I have a podcast, and I just made a planner. So I'm doing all these 4 things, and I literally just barely tip the scale at being stressed every once in a while. So it's completely different from where I was at that point in my life.
I mean, I have a history because I was a photographer too. And I've worked with a lot of photographers, and I do find that, creatives in general are just, their minds just think differently, and they're not necessarily always very organized. And with me, when I was a photographer, I am I am a type A, I'm a spreadsheet for fun kind of girl, and I am very organized. That came so naturally to me, the business part, but it was the creative part that I had to refine and I had to work a little bit more on. But, I think creatives in general, it is a majority of them really struggle with that. But to me, and one of my best friends is a very successful photographer. And she's always like, how do you get so much done in such a short amount? Like, how do you get everything done? And, so I see like we're yin and yang, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so, but I think that like time management, being organized, planning is probably one of the most important things you can do as an entrepreneur, especially if you struggle with being organized and losing track of time, and you know what I mean? And so I love that. So it's been so awesome. I'm excited. I'm supposed to get my planner today, and I'm so excited to just get my hands on it. So yeah.
Can't wait for you to get it in your hands. And you said time management is like this. I call time management the missing link when it comes to business ownership, because we have this creative side. Either you're naturally creative or you're naturally good at the business side, and then you have to learn the other side. So you think, I need to take a course to learn how to run my business, or I need to take a course to get more creative. And then it's like you have these tools, but they're not like connecting. And I feel like time management and productivity is like the factor that brings them both together and makes them work in harmony. Like, I think it's just that missing link.
Yeah. I did a training, was it this week or last week? They're kind of all like smushed together, but I did a training, and it was a goal setting training in this membership that I'm a part of. And one of the things that I did is like, hey, here's this business assessment. And it had all these different parts of your business, like time management, like marketing. And it said 1, and it numbered at 1 to 10. And that was one of the things that I had the people in the training do, is go through each of those and rate yourself 1 through 10. Where are you at on all of these aspects in your business? This is, once you have an assessment, then that's where you need to set your goals at. Like if your time management, you rate yourself a 3, okay, make it a priority and learn how to be organized in your business. So, but I think time management for me it's definitely been one of the essential tools in my success, is being organized and intentional with my time, protecting my time. I am very protective of my time. If it is not planned, it doesn't happen. If somebody called me, on Thursday, it's like, hey, do you want to grab lunch or something? Be like, oh, I can't. Like, I'm very protective of my time. So I love that. Talk a little bit about just the process of the design of the planner for anybody who is considering doing like a tangible, like a product. Tell us kind of like that journey. Did you do it in Canva? You had told me before that you took a course and it was really helpful. So tell us about that.
So when I the reason why I started with the planner is that I wanted something tangible to give people. It's like when kind of like a freebie, obviously it's not free, but I wanted a freebie, like a low ticket something to get people in the door to want to start working with me so I could coach them and like help them with their time management. So I was like, oh, I just want something easy. I wanted it to be a print on demand. And so I started doing research to figure out like, how can I make this a print on demand thing? And I found a company that would do it, but it was kind of limited, and I couldn't do everything that I was hoping to do with it being print on demand. So I was going to have a certain amount of copies printed, and it was outrageously expensive, by the way. And I was like, okay, well, maybe this isn't the plan for me. So I sat down and I had listened to some podcasts. I can do anything myself kind of person. I can do anything myself. I can learn it. I can YouTube it. I can podcast it. I'm going to figure it out. And so I sat down and I listened to some podcasts and I started sketching. We were driving 20 hours to Buffalo. I'm in Texas. So we drove 20 hours to Buffalo for a wedding with the kids in the car. And I have my little sketchbook and I'm sketching out my ideas for the planner. I'm like, okay, what pages do I want? What I want it to look like? So that's where it started. And I continued. I thought I was going to use this company that's United States based. And the more I started learning from them, the less I'm able to do. I can't customize it to the point that I want it customized. I wanted this to be something beautiful. Like I like pretty things, like to hold pretty things. And it just was going to be cheap. And that's not what I wanted. I didn't want something cheap. And so there's this girl, her name is Polly Payne. Planner Polly. Sorry, I can't think of it. I just think it's so cute. Her name is Planner Polly Payne. Triple P. Say that 3 times fast. I can't even say it 1 time fast. So I've been listening to her podcast, and she's really the one that kind of like inspired me to just like follow this dream. And it was really incredible. So I remember listening to one of her episodes and she was like, oh, $5 a unit through my printer. And I'm like, hold up, because I'm looking at $50 a unit. Okay. Like $50 a unit for this planner. And I was like, okay, I need to hire her. So within this, what I like messaged her, I got into her course and learned all the ins and outs. I never would have been able to do this myself. Like, I think I could do anything. I could not have done this without her. And I also saved $15,000 by signing up for this course. Like it was insane. Anyways, so I know how to use all the Adobe programs, but for some reason I decided to just start doing it in Canva. And so I designed it in Canva. I did design this entire planner in Canva, which is insane, the capabilities that you can do in Canva. There was like one thing that didn't work out well. For some reason, when I saved it as a PDF, the calendar versions, like the monthly calendar versions, all my numbers moved up on the PDF version.
I've had that a couple of times too, where I'm like, why is it doing this? Yeah.
It was really frustrating. And it was too late at that point to go in and like make it into InDesign. So I just kept it and just like moved them down further. So that way when they bumped up, it would go to the right spot. So I finagled it. Yeah. But I mean, that's the birth of the planner.
That's awesome. Yeah. I, as a photographer, like I've never worked with InDesign, but I felt like Photoshop. I remember creating albums in Photoshop and you could do anything, but it took forever. And so, when Canva came along, I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. So, but yeah, you can do everything in Canva. Well, that's awesome. Well, I am so excited and I'm so happy for you. And if you guys, I'll put the information for the planner, I'll put it in the show notes. And also you can use my coupon code Brittnie15 to get Brittni, let's get the spelling the correct way, 15, and you can get a discount on that planner and get your hands on this beautiful planner. So Brittnie, I am so excited for you. Tell my listeners where they can follow you, where they can find you, where they can get more information.
You can find me on Instagram at Brittnie with an E, Renee _co, CO. So that's Brittnie Renee _co. That's on Instagram. I'm also, if you're a photographer, then I have a podcast called Capture the Chaos. And I really geared towards photographers, so I don't really think anyone else would find it interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I have lots of photographers though that listen. So
and then my website is brittnierenee.com, and you can find the planner and all kinds of other goodies on there if you wanted to take a look around.
Yeah, she has super cute branding and website too. So give her a check out. So awesome. Okay, Britt, I like to end all my podcasts with asking my podcast guests 2 questions. And I forgot to remind you at the beginning. So you are on the spot, girl.
Oh, no.
Okay, what is a pet peeve? Go with a pet peeve. What is a pet peeve?
Complainers. Pet peeve is complainers, you know? Put your big girl panties on and just get the work done. I mean, you can vent. Okay. There's a difference between venting and complaining, but complainers drive me nuts.
That is one of mine too. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Simple pleasure. What is a simple pleasure?
Taking a nap. I know I said I'm taking a nap. That is my one simple free pleasure in life.
Oh, yeah. Naps are like heavenly for sure. Mm-hmm. Well, Brittnie, it was so fun to chat with you again. Everybody, check her out. You will not regret it. Thanks for chatting with me today, Britt.
Thank you, Brittnie.
Let's not stop the party here. Head on over to my Instagram or Facebook group, Redefine Your Business, and let me know your thoughts about today's show. I will see you again, same time, same place, next week.